So you say you were around with the Diddy times and shit like that. So what
Yeah.
what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the documentary?
I didn't see all. I just saw the first episode, right? So I saw the first episode. It's crazy because a lot of people involved I know, but as far as Diddy, bro, he like working with him. I was still a cop. Again, the cops can't work these side jobs, but you have to be me as a black or Hispanic officer on the low. So as a police officer, you get a lot of days off, right? Because we just do so many hours. So I would take a day off to work with him. The reason why I stopped doing it is because I always had to take the next day off because I'm literally with his ass 20, 24 hours straight. And he's nonstop. We would do, when he was doing P. Diddy Run the City, he did 2 workouts a day. His trainer was the same trainer that trained D'Angelo when he got ripped up for his album.
Come on.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. He charged him $1,200 an hour. $1,200 an hour as a personal trainer. And I only found this out from Diddy, right? He ain't tell me what he was getting paid. See, he was in the military before, so real cool brother. Like literally, if Diddy's timetable to work out was from 12 to 1, homie didn't get there till 11:59. He walks to the door, yo, D, what's up? Mr. Combs, let's start, 5-minute warm-up, did the full workout. Yo, D, what's the time? It's 12:55. All right, let's cool down. We stretched him out. What time is it? Pause, and I said stretch him out. At 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, it was a wrap. Yo, D, I'll holler at you later, and he's out the door. That was it. He said, I don't like to hang out with them. I don't like to make them think I'm their friend because then they're gonna take advantage. That was his mentality. But we literally did the first time I ever seen a water treadmill was at the New York training facility, upstate New York. That's where the Knicks and the Rangers train at. And they had a water treadmill. That was the first time I saw a water treadmill. Now, since then, I've been on a water treadmill when I tore up my knee and I had to go through rehab. Water treadmills are great. So it's a treadmill actually in a jacuzzi or pool. The water's like chest level. And the same way we're looking at the camera here, there's a camera right there. This way the doctor can watch your gait as you're running in the water.
Gotcha.
Right? And also that's how you get your range of motion. So he was having a little knee problem, so that's why he jogged in the water treadmill, which takes a lot of pressure off your knee.
Gotcha.
You know.
So some of these, are there any things that you saw in that first episode of the Diddy documentary that they depicted that were true?
Oh, a lot of stuff is true. A lot of stuff is true, man. I'm actually gonna. I should have watched all 4 thus far, but the guy Gene who does security for him, and Paul who ran security. Gene ran security for him before. Gene, you see him on a lot of YouTube channels talking about Diddy. He's bashing Diddy at every chance he gets, and his experiences with Diddy was a lot different from mine. But he was with Diddy for a while. I have not seen Paul. Paul's dark-skinned, bald-headed. Gene is like maybe 6'5", 6'6". Paul is maybe about 6'2", 6'3", but you haven't seen Paul on anybody's YouTube. But Gene has been on there 1,000 different times. But I have not seen. I didn't see any craziness, bro. He didn't. Maybe because I was a cop and he knew I was a cop, and I've known him for years. None of that foolishness. But even in the documentary, most of that craziness wasn't out in the open. It was like behind closed doors. So I didn't see him slap anybody, push anybody. What I did see that I did not like was just like when they had that shooting where J-Lo was involved. I wasn't there that night, but doing security for him, he wants people to form an aisle for him, right? So if you was Diddy and we in a club and it's time to leave, he wants us to push and usher people out the way so he can walk, like a red carpet treatment. And motherfuckers ain't with that. They like, yo, we making money too, nigga. Don't come over here doing that dumb shit. And that's what he wanted. And that's how that shit started in Club New York at the time when they had that shooting. Like dudes was pushing people out the way. Dudes started screaming, we make money too. They started arguing, and that's how the shit popped off. But I seen him wanting that. Outside of that, I ain't seen nothing else.
Got you. So what's Diddy's temperament like? Cause
He's mad cool. He works nonstop. Like I said, I've never seen anybody, and I used to work 2 jobs. I've never seen anybody that just go nonstop. Like we would first thing in the morning, we at this fucking studio. He's going over 1,000 things. Then we got to make a run here. Then he has to go train. That's that 1 hour window. Then he driving back to his house. He takes a shower. Then we shooting up to Mount Vernon, and he had his coaching his sons. His son was playing football. Then he gave them all these Heisman-like trophies, all the kids on the team. Then he stopped at some chick house in Mount Vernon, and then we went back downtown, and we had to go to the studio, and then he checked over some of the prints for his clothing line, Sean John. And then we do the second workout later on that night, where we jogging through a tunnel. We on a golf cart, and somebody's on the back of the golf cart filming him while he's running. And he wants to run as the sun comes up. So then we have to go back to the studio, and he's editing it. He's like, take this out, add that. And then my night only ended, well, my morning ended, because it was 26 hours that day, was when we took him to the damn Teterboro airport, and he was going to Vegas. And I still remember he's on the phone, and I guess the manager asked him, you want the 3-bedroom or the 5-bedroom suite? And he said, give me the 3. And this was a normal day, all goddamn day.
no.
So his sleep probably was just on the plane, and then that was it. And he's back up at. So think about just him running the marathon. Like Diddy, you don't see him as being some athletic motherfucker, but it's just his energy level. Forced his ass to run 26.2 miles.
Yeah.
Right? I think we all decent shape here, right? None of us here are Adonises, but we can't go run a damn marathon right now.
Yeah.
And he only trained for like 2 months for that damn marathon. It wasn't like he was an avid runner. And he stopped running after the marathon. He just said in his head, I want to do the marathon. And he did the marathon. Yeah. So I got to say kudos to him, because I couldn't have done that shit.
He's definitely a mad scientist, man. Like I seen that video where he was there, and I found myself doing the same shit. Pause, but I think he said, if you can't get it done, I can get it done and get this. That's how I feel. Same type of mindset, and that mindset, like they say, free your mind and your ass will follow. So whatever you put your mind to. So
just like when he hit Steve Stout over the head with a bottle of champagne,
yeah,
I wasn't there for that, but I got hired by Steve Stout to work for him after that incident. And Steve Stout was probably the worst person I ever worked for. He's a clown. Steve Stout, clown, right? He was a CEO. He was one of the main people at Interscope Records. That's the guy who did that whole bottle of champagne incident happened with the Nas video when he was carrying the cross, and he didn't want that scene to be in the video. But Steve Stout decided to do that. But yeah, Steve is a fucking dick, bro.
Well, hold on, we gonna dive into the
people
Steve.
I work for, Steve Stout is by far. And matter of fact, I even told Puff, Puff owned a restaurant on 21st Street between 5th and 6th called Justin's, right? That's the name of his son. And 2 managers, light-skinned John, dark-skinned John, both managers, but both had the name John. So I'm at light-skinned John's house in Brooklyn. He had a brownstone, and he had a barbecue there. So it was me there. Puff came by. This dude named Roy, Big Roy, he used to do security for Puff, also doing security at Justin. We all there talking. I said, yo, they just hired Steve. I mean, they just hired me. And they're like, oh, they got you? They started laughing. They're like, yo, he's a dick. I said, yo, he's a dick, bro. Meet my first time with Steve Stout. I'm sitting there. The label, just like I work for Bobby Shmurda, they wanted, the label reaches out to you. The artist don't call you. The label calls you. The label's paying for you. So the label was paying me. And I go to Interscope Records. Dame Dash is downstairs. I'm talking to, I didn't really get along with Dame, but it was other people that was there. So we was talking. I said, I got to go upstairs. So I go upstairs, and I'm sitting outside of his office, right? So let's say he has a visual of me, but he's sitting in his office. I'm sitting in the chair outside of his office. Some of the guys come in, and next thing you know, he's calling them in because they're talking to me. Doors closed. I'm sitting outside for like 10 minutes. Next thing I know, the doors opened up. Dude, they're like, yeah, he wanted to know how we know you. And I said, oh, geez, man, cool. So I go inside. I'm sitting now in the office. And for about another 5 minutes, he's looking at the computer, looking at me, looking at the computer. And then he goes, that's a Rolex on your arm? I just happen to have a Rolex now. But I said, yes. He goes, oh, those police raids must be really good, huh? So what are you implying, bro? Like I had to steal this Rolex? Like, why would you say those police raids must be really good? That was my introduction to Steve Stout. So he's one of these dudes that he wants everyone to bow down to him. So, like I said, I've been working clubs for years, and I hung out for years. So if you are guarding somebody, right now, if I'm guarding you, and we go to a popular club here, and all the bouncers know me, that's good for you, because you already know if I'm there, the not only me protecting you, but the bouncers know me. So I'm always gonna have, that's like extra protection. So we're walking into a club and the bouncer's like, yo, D, what's good, baby? He's with you? No, he's with me. Steve started screaming that I'm with him. He's not with me because he's the main guy. This was his personality, you know.
Yeah. Just had to be seen.
He had to be seen. See, people, just like Diddy, everyone not only know his name, but they know what he looked like. Not a lot of people know what Steve Stout looked like.
Yeah.
So they might have heard the name, but they don't know who the face is. So it's nothing against Steve Stout. It's just, bro, everybody don't know who the fuck you are visually. So your little chubby ass coming to the club and you acting stupid, bro. He want all the chicks to bow down to him, and that's how he is. And he's a fan. He's a fan of Jay-Z, bro. Jay-Z anywhere. Jay-Z playing ball at Chelsea Piers in Manhattan. He got to sit there and watch Jay-Z play ball, bro. I said, though, look at this fucking fan here, bro. I used to sit there looking at this clown like, yo, he's a fucking clown. Yeah, he was. So how I stopped working for Steve Stout, bro, he tells me to go downstairs and tell the driver I'll be ready in 15 minutes. So I go downstairs, tell the driver, like, yo, get the car ready. He's going to come downstairs in 15 minutes. 45 minutes go by. He still ain't downstairs. So I said, let me go upstairs. I go upstairs, look for him. He's not in the office. Damn ladies cleaning, vacuuming the floor. We in a big corporate building right now, right? We on 50th Street between 10th and 9th and 10th Avenue, right? So I'm like, what the fuck is this guy at? I'm calling him, he don't answer the phone. Call him again, he don't answer the phone. I'm walking around the whole goddamn floor. He's not to be found. I go downstairs. I asked the girl at the front desk, did you see Steve anywhere? She said, I saw him leave a while ago. Who the fuck is this dude? But we was there for 3 hours, bro, waiting, calling, because we don't want to leave. We calling. The driver's looking at me. I said, I don't know where this fucking guy is at. Call. Countless calls. No response. Finally, I made the call. I said, yo, bro, let's go. So the driver had to drive me back to Steve's house, because he lived in Jersey, to get my vehicle. And at that point, I knocked on the door and I told the damn woman, I said, I know this sounds crazy because I'm supposed to be doing security for him, but he disappeared. I have no idea where the fuck he's at. She's like, yeah, he does these things. Don't worry, I'll give him a call. I said, you sure? She's like, yeah, it's fine. So I leave. 3 days later, I call the people, the label, like, yo, this is what the fuck he did. They're like, yeah, well, he's all right. Go back to work. It was 3 days later. I go there. This dude's like, yo, you fucking left me. I said, bro, I called you, basically telling him what I just told you. He's like, oh, well, I was playing PlayStation. So he went to another, because the building has multiple studios. He went to another studio and was playing Madden football. That was his answer to me. I play Madden football. Bro, even after 45 minutes, you got to reset the game. It takes like 5 minutes. You pick your team. It has to load. You just saw my call. You said, this nigga, let him wait. That's what you did. Bro, I'm doing security for you. Label called me. I ain't call you. So when he did that shit, I said, bro, I'm the wrong dude for you, bro. I'm the wrong dude for you. And I left, called the label, get somebody else, bro, because I'm not doing this shit. So that's how our shit ended.
Yeah.
This clown ass.
So what all them dudes is like, oh, they got you, huh? It all makes sense then.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. So back to the Diddy thing though, man. So with Diddy, just being around him, seeing his work ethic, just from your perspective, are some of the things that they're saying as far as the freak offs and the this, is that imaginable or is it far-fetched?
No, it's imaginable. I just never seen it.
Yeah.
I never seen it. Like I said, I seen him with Kim Porter. I seen him with Cassie. I seen him with J-Lo. But never seen any of them with any bruises. Never heard any of them complaining or any screams. But like I said, even when I took him to his house, took him to various hotels, we're just downstairs. So if I'm downstairs, it's not like I'm in the next room and then I see male stripper walk in, right? Because some of the male strippers are common, regular dudes in New York. Like Punisher that he had, like Pun went to all the parties. Like you see Pun, and I'm shocked to hear what was going on. I'm like, this dude was there, like, right? It's crazy, right? But yeah, so hearing the stories, you're just like, yo, I can't believe this shit. But then you listen to the testimony in court, and he's rubbing semen on his fucking nipples. Like that shit is bananas. That shit is bananas. Like I'm hanging out with this dude, bro. Like,
so, did you ever see any bottles of baby oil?
Never saw bottles. Never, ever did I see one bottle of baby oil. Never.
Okay.
Like I said, and this is not to say it didn't happen. It's just apparently it did happen, right? Apparently it did happen, but I never saw it.
So let me ask you this: if you were there and you just happened to see some of that little freak off shit start to pop off, this, and Diddy asked you to walk in the room and watch and be secure?
Nah. As you can tell with the Steve style, I got no time for the foolishness, bro. And I had I wasn't short of options.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know about, and that's another thing, right? You don't know those guys who did security for them. And you can say male, female, whatever. You know, a lot of times people do shit because they have no other options, right? But I had options. You know, I was known out there, and I had other options. Like I said, the label reached out to me because I was known. They didn't just pick me out the hat. You know, they didn't just like, Damien. They knew me. So it was like, just like I got that job, just like I got Steve Stout, I can get other jobs easily. That's how I was running security at clubs, because they knew me. You know, so if I would have saw that shit, I would be like, nah, bro, this is not for me.
All right, I got one more question. Did he ask you? Now, of course, you're married. You're married now. You're married now. We talk about back then. Did he ask you come in and smack Cassie?
Oh, I would have. Cassie, Kim, J-Lo, all of them, man. Cassie was a pretty ass chick, bro. And I had no idea she was getting down like that, but Cassie was a pretty ass chick, man. When you see her in person, because a lot of times, when you see somebody on a screen, they got tons of makeup on, right? Not that most of these women, right? Because most women nowadays just going to the damn store, they're gonna do something to their face or hair. But every time I saw Kim, she looked great. I only saw Kim twice. We picked her up from the train one time, and we went to a house where she was at. So I only seen Kim twice. I seen J-Lo with him like at least 2 times at a club, but I saw him with Cassie at least 5 or 6 times. And every time she looked great. All 3 of them looked great. Flawless, I'll be honest. They all looked really good.
Yeah.
I ain't been married that long, bro. I got married in 2016, so yeah, I think all that shit with Cassie and it was way before that.
So, in your opinion, is Cassie a victim?
I think she could have been a victim at times, you know. Let's say you out with a freak, right? She might be a freak. She might be down to do whatever, okay? But today, tomorrow, and the next day, she's like, yo, I don't feel like doing it. And if you force her to do it, what do you call that person? She might have been down 50 other times, right?
I call them inconsistent.
You can say that too, right? But like I said, was he showing her videos like, I'm going to show this to your face? I have no idea. You know, was he filming it? Apparently, they all said he was filming. They all said he was filming. So I'm sure he had tapes, right? She said he was filming, and he didn't deny that he was filming. He just said what I did wasn't a crime. So all parties said they were filming. So did he show her like, I'm gonna release these tapes? I have no idea. You know, but again, you know, if you tell somebody, and I guess that's the police of me, if you tell somebody no, after several times. Like, you know, I was a captain here at Texas Southern University, right? They do a little video for the students. Like even if you drink the tea 5 different times, if the next time you offer the girl tea and she says no, you can't force her to drink the tea. It's a stupid ass video, but that's a video they played for the college students. It's called something, Don't Drink the Tea. That's one of the videos they played at TSU for the students. But don't drink the tea. So if I offer you tea 5 different times and you drink the tea each time, if I offer you the tea the 6th time, you say, no, I don't want the tea, I can't force you to drink the tea. So
that's fair.
Based on that, could she have been a victim? Yes. Did she benefit? I think everyone benefits from various people all the time. Yeah. So did she benefit? Did she look at him as a possibility to do better for herself? Yes. Did he look at himself like, I'm Diddy, so I can do X, Y, and Z? I'm sure he did that too.
Yeah. Now, it's crazy because my father-in-law is in here today. I picked a hell of a day to bring him in here, but I'm just going to so what about the double standard though, right? Because you know when a woman's tired, she don't want to this. Oh, it's perfectly fine. No, I'm not, and I don't want to. But as soon as a man don't want to put out, it's a problem.
Oh no, bro, I'm married, so you know I deal with that shit. I think every man deal with that shit.
So are we victims?
Yeah, we're victims.
We're victims too then.
We're victims too. We're victims too, man. But
okay,
yeah,
cool.
I listen, and I working at this damn university, bro, I just saw so many damn false crimes called in, bro. It was a damn shame. And I personally have a cousin that did a whole year in jail for a rape that he didn't commit. And then after the year, the female said, yeah, I was mad that he broke up with me for a new girl. Right? But nothing happens to her. Nothing happened to her.
Yeah.
You know, at the school I worked for, when I moved down here, same thing. They don't want to press charges on the females for making false allegations. Not questionable allegations, just completely false allegations. And I think that's the big difference, you know. A lot of things that somebody might say is up for interpretation, right? So if it's up for interpretation, if I take you to court to press charges on you, I'm probably not going to win, right? Because it's going to be too many ifs. But if it's something that is solid evidence that this person lied, I think that person needs to go to jail. If I went to jail because you made a false allegation, then the person who accused me needs to go to jail as well.
Facts. One more question before we move on from the Diddy thing. So with just like with everything coming out, there's so much shit now that painting Diddy to be this type of person. So and with the Biggie and the Diddy and the Biggie situation, do you feel like Diddy got Biggie killed?
I don't know, man. And I'm gonna say no. Just it was mad cool, man. Biggie was fucking. First of all, Biggie was cool as fuck. Biggie was super cool, bro. Biggie used to hang out with him. My name is Damien. Biggie used to hang out with another dude named Damien. He introduced me to the guy named Damien. He's about like 6'4", 6'5". I think he was around with Lil' Kim for a hot minute too, the guy Damien. But Biggie was mad cool, but they were always tight. So I can't see that happening. But in this world of life that we live in, whoever knows. You see people setting up people's partners. You see, well, it's the family. The family just got killed in L.A. by their own son. So whoever knows, bro. I don't know. But if you're gonna ask me if I had to put money on it, I would say no.
Gotcha. So you had a relationship with Biggie?
I knew him.
Gotcha.
We ain't exchanged numbers, but I knew him. Like I said, I worked at clubs and I hung out all the time. You start hanging out, starting to see same people. You see Jay-Z at Cheetahs and all the clubs, like we at the bar, they at the bar. Just like artists growing up here in Houston, right? If you are out all the time, before they even become big, they're gonna be at all your local spots. Like I said, I knew Puff when he had his first 318i BMW. He wasn't big then. Biggie wasn't big then. Jay-Z wasn't big then. So you just see them. And then once they become a little known, they still at the same spots. Now they gotta flex.
Yeah, they gotta come
now
here.
You gotta come see me, bro. I'm at the bar with my 2-3 bottles. Like we wasn't even doing sections at the time. Like Jay-Z just at the side of the bar. Him and his boy with a fucking 2 bottles in a damn container. That's it.
Yeah.
There was no section and security. No, they used to come by themselves. But most artists that you can think of right now who are big in Houston, they used to walk around by themselves or one or two of their friends. There wasn't no entourage and security when they first started out.
Yeah. So, who are some of the most famous celebrities that you've done security for?
I would say Diddy's probably the biggest one.
Okay.
I would say Diddy's probably the biggest one. I did security for Lil' Kim. That whole little clique, because they all fall under the same umbrella, you know. After that, I started doing more. After that Steve Stout shit, I started doing more corporate people.
Okay. Gotcha.
A lot better, bro. A lot better, a lot less drama and earlier hours.
Gotcha.
Rappers want to keep you out, bro. Athletes want to keep you out until 4 or 5 in the morning, especially rappers. Athletes is like 2 or 3. Corporate people, by 11, 12 o'clock, you back in the house.
Gotcha.